What's up, Facebook and YouTube? Brother Sanchez speaking along with my brother RFG Chosen One. Today we're going to talk about Adolf Hitler, and depending on who you are, you may not agree or you may agree with the message that we're presenting for you today. And it can kind of be sensitive to some, but we're going to be discussing some stuff that has not been brought to the American public, some rare information that's been hid from the masses, and that if you do diligent research, you can find the same information. But we're going to share a lot of stuff to you about Adolf Hitler that was not taught to us. And before we get into this, let me just say this. If you were in Iraq during the time bin Laden was living and you were amongst the people with bin Laden, they would have everything good to say about him. But if you were an American at that time, our government only promoted propaganda that talked bad about him. So depending on where you're at is depending on what you're going to hear. If you're in North Korea, you're going to be proud of the leader of North Korea. But if you're in America, you're going to be fed propaganda to hate him. Now, we don't know exactly what's going on. We only know what we're being told by the media. And at this point in time, we know that we can't trust everything that we get from the media, that it's important to do your own research about everything, okay? Don't be scared to turn over those rocks. So with that being said, we don't want to offend anybody with this information today. We love you all. Knowledge is power, and we're just here to deliver truth. I'm going to turn it over to my brother RFG Chosen One.
A lot of people believe the media when they say, Adolf Hitler was an evil person. As far as him wanting complete world domination across the planet, I believe that's complete propaganda. Anybody who knows the basics, on Hitler knows that he rose to power in 1933, became president of Germany, and eventually he was taken out in 1945. A lot of mainstream people think that the United States and Germany, like the communist countries were fighting each other. They were on different sides, and that's a bunch of malarkey, people. The Rothschilds, Rockefellers, the guy who made Ford, the auto industry, all those families were funding everything Hitler was doing. I even believe at one particular state and time, Hitler was under MK Ultra mind control, people. And if you do your research, okay, and I believe 1942, Hitler and his Nazis took a trip to India. And when they were there, they went to particular pyramids, okay, built by an ancient melanated civilization. And they were looking at the hieroglyphics inside of the pyramids, and they saw a tomb inside of the pyramid that led them down to what's known as a Vimana spacecraft, okay? And this is reverse engineered Atlantean Anunnaki technology. And it was basically reverse engineering like UFO technology. So that it was anti-gravity, okay? And he took this technology with him back to Germany. And when he went back to Germany in 1945, the United States government, wanted it from him. It drew a lot of questions in Hitler's head, because at the time Hitler was thinking that the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, and the Fords, were for Germany. So they wanted that technology to be used for America. And at that time, Hitler was thinking, what are you talking about? This is about Germany's domination across the planet. And he just couldn't understand the United States president and all these rich families, wanting the United States to be dominating the planet. You see what I'm saying? He had no knowledge of the British crown, the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers, the 13 richest families in the world, wanting to dominate the whole planet. He thought that he was given the power, and that he was going to be chancellor of the world, okay? And he didn't intend for the world to be the way it is today, people. If you do your research on what the swastika really is, the swastika is the ancient Kemetic symbol that represented our galaxy and universal love on every single continent. Damn near every single ancient civilization on every single continent had that symbol, okay? And a lot of their temples, a lot of their spiritual places and pyramids, that symbol was highly revered, okay? And when he denied the United States government that access, that's when the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, and the Fords, okay, allowed the U.S. government to come into Germany and to take him out, people. This is not a joke. It's not a game. There's even a certain article that New York Times tried to burn and tried to get rid of. I got a hold of it, people, due to deep research. And this is coming from Adolf's mouth himself, okay? He said that he was going to try to take over the world, but he was never going to try to do what the Freemasons and the 13th richest families had planned out. He was going to use the Vimana technology to free mankind and to free humans across the planet, people, because he knew who the true Aryans were. Where do you even think he got that name from? Arius was the man who tried to discredit the Vatican, okay, and tell you that Jesus is a goddamn lie. And Hitler was pushing the same shit, people. Yeah, you guys need to do your research and wake up, because this rabbit hole goes really, really deep, man. And so like I was saying, soon as he denied the United States government and the Rothschilds access to the Vimana technology in 1945, Hitler was taken out of power, okay? What he did in Germany with the Holocaust, the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, and the Ford family funded all of that. They gave him all the weapons to do that. And I do believe that Hitler was under MK Ultra mind control at the time. And they were just killing the portion of Jewish people in Germany who were not compliant with the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers. Okay, that's he had nothing against those people, because like I said, Hitler wasn't even German. He wasn't a Nazi. He was an Austrian Jew. His last name is Hitler. Hitler, L-E-R. E-R means you're a Jew. If you have a last name ending in M-A-N-I-N-G or a E-R or a Berg, you are a Jew. You are a Jewish person, a Khazar, okay? So it's basically, time to wake up and do your research, man, because everything that these people have told us in their media, they've told us people are saints, but we do research and find out that they're devils. And in this case, they wanted us to believe that this particular individual was a devil, and it really finds out that the people he was trying to take out are in control of the world today. And look how the world is going today, people. So if you use your common sense, and just do your research, you find out that Hitler was not a very bad person at all, people, man. It's time to wake up and do your research, man.
So with everything that's been said, let me summarize all of this. Adolf Hitler may have not been as bad as we think, people. We're getting this information from a source that, I really find untrustworthy a lot of times. So when we talk about Adolf Hitler, we say he was a bad man because he killed a lot of people. Well, in that case, then our government is full of bad men because we've killed a lot of people, all right? Every government has killed millions and thousands of people in war. This is why I'm not a fan of religion and propaganda that go towards favoring any particular country, because in my heart, I feel there's never a need for war. There's never a need for millions of people to die. Now, in Adolf Hitler's situation, it's understandable to a certain extent when you realize that the war he was bringing forth was to change the world and rid it of people that now rule the world and have created hell on earth for the masses. So who knows, if Adolf Hitler was successful, maybe we would live in a world today that was truly free, because there's a lot of information to support that Adolf Hitler was indeed fighting against wicked powers. Now, what if those wicked powers he was fighting against was our government? You think they would illustrate themselves as wicked? No, they wouldn't. They would illustrate him as wicked. So when you're in the middle of a he say, she say, it's important to do your own research. And in Adolf Hitler's situation, there's a lot of research out there that lead me to believe that he had a good vision in mind at the end of his mission. Now, I don't agree with bloodshed, and my hearts go out to all the victims that were involved in the situation. But as the brother RFG Chosen One stated, it may have not been all of Hitler's doing. And the people who he took out during his time, you have to keep in mind that it may have just been those who were non-compliant toward the royal families. As the brother stated, Hitler could have very well been under MK Ultra. If you learn more about Hitler and understand what happened and how he was betrayed by the royal families, you will see that they play both sides of every war to serve their New World Order agenda. So there's a lot more to learn about Hitler. Also, there's a lot more to learn about the swastika. It's not a bad symbol. It's a spiral symbol that's made in the form of our Milky Way galaxy. It symbolizes the Milky Way, okay? And that's what the ancients used it for. It also has 490-degree angles on each side, representing the 360 of life, the 360 of the sun. Okay, so if you learn more about the swastika, you'll understand that this very symbol he used was a righteous symbol. There's a lot of information out there that upon your research, you will be challenged mentally about everything you thought was true. I don't agree with war, but sometimes it's inevitable. For example, if we say we're the people and we got to rise up against the powers, we know the power's not going to go out without a fight for us to clean up this planet, take control of this planet, and bring forth a better earth for our children, to get rid of the chemtrails and the stem cells and the poisons in the food and the GMOs and Monsantos. If we say we're going to rise against that, even us, y'all, the innocent people, may have to stand and bear arms and take a few lives in the name of righteousness. Now, that's sad, but sometimes it have to be done. In Adolf Hitler's situation, he was betrayed by the Freemasons. The Freemasons now run the world, and they're the biggest betrayers of the people. So it's important not to take any particular side on these matters, but to stand for what's righteousness as you see it. With that being said, I'm going to sign off and let y'all go here today. And on behalf of me and the brother RFG Chosen One, peace, and we love you.